The stats that shame Man United. Ruben Amorim has said current crop of flops are the worst Red Devils side ever, so is he right with Old Trafford outfit 10 points above relegation zone? This current Manchester United side is a poor one, as their current position of 13th in the Premier League table with just 26 points after 22 games indicates. So mighty have struggles been under new head coach Ruben Amorim been that he labelled this team as the worst in club history after winning just 1 point per game, 11 in 11 league games, since he assumed the reins at Old Trafford in November. Sunday's 3-1 defeat at home to Brighton on Sunday ensured the team's worst start to a season at home in 131 years, with just 6 wins from 12 in the league. United and Amorim have endured a rocky start in their relationship that was meant to be one that blossomed out of the blocks. But is the Portuguese manager right in saying that Manchester United are the worst they have ever been? Mailsport takes a look at the underlying stats put up by the Red Devils since Amorim took over to see if his claim has any credence. The first and most obvious metric to judge any team by is the number of points they have on the board. In that respect, this is the worst United side for well over a generation. Not since the 1986-87 season have they had fewer points at this stage of a league season, while their 10 defeats after 22 matches makes it the first time they have lost 10 or more games at this stage since 1989-90. They have also won fewer than 1 in 3 matches, 7 from 22, marking their lowest number of wins at this point in a campaign since that same 1989-90 season. One player who has struggled in particular has been goalkeeper Andre Onana, who made another glaring error to gift Jorginho Rutter a tap-in for Brighton's third goal at Old Trafford on Sunday. That marked the Cameroonian goalkeeper's 10th error, leading to a goal in 2 years since arriving at the club. By comparison, former United stalwart David De Gea made 17 in 12 years at Old Trafford. Onana's errors could be interpreted as proving even more costly given that Amorim's side have actually fared fairly well in terms of stopping shots on goal, facing the 6th fewest number of shots on target in the division. They have also struggled to win games as a result of being inefficient in front of goal themselves. A shot conversion rate of just 9.1 makes for the 4th lowest in the Premier League, while they are also tied in the lowly position of 14th for number of goals scored, 27. Amorim has doubled down on the use of his favoured 3-4-3 formation, which is not a systemic issue itself, it is just that this current crop of players appears to be ill-suited to making the setup work. Playing a system with wingbacks demands players to do large amounts of running and sprinting, but United sit 15th for direct speed, a metric which is defined as being the number of meters that the ball travels when measuring directly upfield, divided by the total time of an attack sequence. United are also leaving themselves vulnerable to counterattacks by the number of high turnovers, an instance whereby a team loses possession of the ball in open play within 40 meters of the opponent's goal, that they have allowed. They have committed 171 high turnovers so far, which is the 7th highest total in the Premier League. While United are unlikely to face a relegation battle despite Amorim's previously voiced concerns, they are mired in mid-table mediocrity with a negative goal difference. That may not make this Manchester United team the worst of all time, but many fans will have expected more tangible progress from a side that has only risen 1 place in the league since Amorim took over from Erik ten Hag. Ruben Amorim discusses Andre Onana's form after howler in defeat to Brighton. Manchester United suffered their 4th defeat in their last 5 home games as Brighton left Old Trafford with a comfortable 3-1 win on Sunday afternoon. Bruno Fernandes cancelled out Yankuba Minte's early opener before the outstanding Kaoru Mitoma restored the Seagulls' lead on the hour mark. United huffed and puffed but were dead and buried with 15 minutes left on the clock after Jorginho Rutter hopped off the bench to capitalize on a shocking mistake by Andre Onana. The Cameroon international failed to deal with Yassine Ayari's tepid low cross, spilling the ball to Rutter, who made no mistake, slamming the ball into an empty net and condemning United to another dark day in front of home support. As reported by the Mirror, Ruben Amorim was left fuming after the game and gave his verdict on Onana's turbulent form this season. It's like the team, ups and downs. Really up, sometimes, and really low downs. We have to maintain the focus during all the game to try to win. That is the only way we can turn things around, he said. Onana's howler comes off the back of a couple of fine stops in the comeback win against Southampton, keeping United in a game they could have been dead and buried in before Amad Diallo's inspired late intervention. The two outings rather sum up Onana's time at Old Trafford, which has been littered with as many goal-costing mistakes as good moments. It looked as though the 28-year-old had recovered from his rocky start in Manchester that saw a raft of early, costly errors lead to question marks over his suitability for the role. However, another poor display has reared further conversations on whether Onana is truly good enough to keep goal for United in the long term. What may grant the keeper a stay of execution is that the team are in dire need of outfield reinforcements before they are in a position to replace Onana with someone of the required level. However, should the former Ajax man not see his form improve in the coming weeks, Bayender will no doubt be chomping at the bit to prove his worth with an extended run in the first team. Amorim will be hoping his stopper can shake off the mistake as quickly as possible, with games coming thick and fast in the coming weeks. United are rooted in the bottom half of the Premier League table and in desperate need of an upturn in fortunes to salvage something from a season that has been nothing short of a disaster up until now. Man United transfer news: Red Devils reach verbal agreement for attacker to complete La Liga move. Manchester United have reportedly reached a verbal agreement for the loan departure of Antony to Real Betis. The 24-year-old is one of the Red Devils who look set for a switch away from Old Trafford this month, with the La Liga side strongly linked to the player in recent times. Antony has failed to start a single Premier League contest for Man United this season under both Erik ten Hag or current boss Ruben Amorim. The winger has totaled just 135 minutes of top-flight action for the Red Devils during 2024-25, with 6 of those minutes arriving during the 3-1 defeat to Brighton and Hove Albion on Sunday afternoon. Since securing a high-profile switch from Ajax for €85 million during the summer of 2022, Antony has netted 12 goals across 96 matches for the Old Trafford club. Man United reach verbal agreement for Antony to complete departure. According to transfer specialist Fabrizio Romano, Antony is edging closer to a theatre of dreams exit before the February 3 deadline of the transfer window. The report claims that Man United and Real Betis have reached a verbal agreement over the switch of the Brazilian from England to Spain this month. It is understood that Antony will move to La Liga on a temporary deal until the conclusion of the campaign, returning to the Red Devils in June. The deal is supposedly a straight loan for the winger, meaning that Real Betis have no option or obligation to purchase the player permanently in the summer. Antony is now set to travel to Spain in order to sign the relative transfer documents and complete his medical at the La Liga mid-table dwellers. Does Antony have a Man United future? Given the nature of the supposed loan deal, Antony will find himself back at Carrington in the summer, when he will be desperate for another chance in the Man United first team. An attacker who likes to hug the touchline, the 24-year-old has been unable to earn a spot as a first-choice option in Amorim's new system. The Red Devils are now operating with 2 number 10s and wing-backs, 2 positions that Antony is not comfortable in, putting his long-term future at the club in serious doubt.